It is 7 o'clock. I'd like to invite all to stand for the pledge of the flag, please.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. It's a big night in Elkton. 196 years ago, the town of Elkton was incorporated by the Maryland General Assembly on this date, on February 7th, 1822. So officially as a town, we're 196 years old today. But by our charter, states that our charter was formed on May 24th, 1787. So our charter was formed prior to being incorporated as a town. But today is actually our birthday by the state of Maryland being incorporated. So happy birthday, town of Elkton. Happy birthday. Okay, minutes of January 17th. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Financial report and payment of the bills.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Steve Repole was getting his, how's he doing?
He's doing fine.
Now he had his knee replaced.
No way.
Some of it.
Partial knee replacement. Well, that's good. Well, everything seemed to be in line on the financial report. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Lou, your report, and you're on.
Yes, the first item on the agenda is ordinance 1, 2018. This ordinance adjusts the definitions under the Elkton zoning ordinance for basic definitions and interpretations relating to medical facilities in the town of Elkton, with a public hearing held by the Planning Commission on January 8th, a subsequent public hearing by the Mayor and Commissioners on the 17th, and was introduced at that time. It's subject to adoption tonight, and if there's no questions, I would recommend the board adopt these amendments to the Elkton zoning ordinance, which will be effective 20 days from the date of the date.
How many days was that, Lou?
20 days. from
20
the date
days.
to become effective.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve ordinance 1-2018, medical facilities?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the ordinance? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second ordinance, ordinance 2-2018, relates to housing standards. There's no public hearing required on this, but it was introduced on the 17th of January and is subject to adoption tonight. There are definitions and changes in this that allow the building official and the building and zoning office to take certain action, enforcement action against properties in the town of Elkton that it couldn't do prior to the changes in these definitions. I would recommend that the board adopt ordinance 2-2018.
Do we have a motion to approve ordinance 2-2018 housing standards?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This will take place in 20 days after
Yes.
tonight. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item I have, grant waiver for alcoholic beverage restrictions. It's granted to the, or proposed to be granted to the Elkton Alliance. Date of the waiver is March 22nd for the Citizen of the Year banquet, a special event every year that the Elkton Alliance holds at the Elkton Municipal Building. And it's within the prerogative of the Mayor and Commissioners to waive alcoholic restrictions for that event. I would recommend that the board do so for March 22nd.
We have a
for the
motion.
Elkton Alliance.
We have a motion to have a waiver for the Elkton Alliance on March 22nd, 2018 for Citizen of the Year. Do we have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion on this at all? Other than who are the Citizens of the Year?
Brandon and Nicole Hollander.
Fantastic. Premier Otto. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Did they come in and race cars? Did the race car people?
Oh, yes, there's a one.
That's what I mean, they sponsored the race car thing. Okay, the next item is also a alcoholic beverage restriction for the Elkton Alliance, waiver for the Elkton Alliance. The date of the waiver, the dates of the waiver are for March 16th, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m., March 17th, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., March 18th, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the St. Patrick's downtown events on North Street from 117 to 118 North Street, Main Street, and 107 to 109 West Main Street, Courthouse Lane. I would recommend that the mayor and commissioners waive the alcohol beverage restriction and grant the Elkton Alliance this waiver.
We have a motion to approve
Also,
Second.
and a second. Only discussion I have, do we need to make that till 2 o'clock? I mean,
I thought it was till earlier, and I know they were talking with the chief, and so I'm not sure.
this is for outside. I don't think it needs
I
to be
don't
till,
think, yeah, it wasn't, I thought it was till 11 p.m. or?
Yeah.
But I got the
It's a board
16th
one.
from 4 to 2, 17th, 6 a.m., 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. 6 a.m.
No.
I didn't.
Okay. And March
She
18th,
told me
11 a.m. to 11
sure.
p.m.
I just thought that,
What
what
happened?
we said just during the normal operating hours of the business.
That was the first thing that I had put in there, and I had some input from other people.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. Not just the
So
breakfast.
you're.
Mayor will.
are you okay with it?
With it going to how long?
To 2 a.m. That sounds,
I think it depends, you know, if other businesses aren't open till 2 a.m.,
well, I certainly don't want them out on the street.
No,
at 2
I don't,
a.m.
no, that's not the,
The Sunday night one runs until 11 p.m.
That's kind of late, too.
So that would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sunday night?
Um,
Does the noise ordinance taking place on an event like that?
I mean, if you're gonna allow people out on the street, then I think, you know, enforce the noise ordinance, no.
I'm just saying as far as time. Like
Well, I think, you know, probably 11 o'clock is, where I don't think you're gonna have a great crowd down there after.
Let's make them all ending, would you adjust your motion to adjust it down to 11 p.m., all 3 dates? Who made the motion?
that's fine.
Are you okay with that? Would you be all right to?
I am, I'm just wondering about Saturday night, I mean, usually that's,
Well, you don't want them out. My
you
whole
don't want
point,
them on the street.
yeah, I think people will be enjoying the Central Tavern and Minhanes and North Street, but I don't think that they need to be out running around on the street. I don't see the party happening that late. Does everyone agree with that?
I would agree.
I'll amend my motion
Till 11
to
o'clock.
11 p.m.
Charlie, did you second?
Second.
Any other discussion?
Okay with start times?
Start times are good, but the ending time is 11 for each evening. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you guys so much.
That's all I have.
Okay, we have some reappointments, some appointments, some appointments, and some reappointments for boards. I'm going to kind of fire them off, and I'll do them as an individual. Reappointment for the Board of Supervisors of Elections. The term, we do have an election coming up on May 8th. May 8th is the town election. So we have to appoint the Board of Supervisors so they can start to get together and make sure that everyone's following things properly. So the term would be from April 1st to 2018, April 1st, 2018 to March 31st, 2020. So it's a 2-year term. I'm going to go ahead and name all 3, and hopefully we'll have support for all 3, and if we don't, then we'll change it. The first person is Paula Newton, the second is Kingsley Schaefer, and the third is Karen Smith. I'd like to reappoint all 3 back onto the Board of Supervisors of Elections.
I'll make a motion to approve your recommendation.
So we have a second. Any discussion on these 3 individuals? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to appoint 3 new members to the Board of Supervisors of the election. from the same term, April 1st, 2018 to March 31st, 2020. The three that I'd like to appoint to make it a total of 6 on the Board of Supervisors. The next three would be Sarah Guns, Dave Massimiano, and Margie Weissno. Do we have a second?
Second?
Any discussion on those three individuals? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So we got a full board on the Board of Supervisors. Okay, appointment. This is a new appointment for the Board of Zoning Appeals alternate member. And I'm going to ask the board to appoint Rob Massimiano for the term of February 1st, 2018 to January 31st, 2021.
I'd like to make a motion to approve that recommendation.
Any discussion on that appointment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And a reappointment on the Elkton Housing Authority Board, I'd like to reappoint Ronald Federoff for a term of February 1st, 2018 to January 31st, 2023. We have a second.
Second?
We have a second. Any discussion on Ronald Federoff? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all so much. That was a long-winded talk for me. A few other items I wanted to bring to the board's attention. We made a few public service announcements, and they're actually live videos, not live videos, they're actually videos on the Elkton.org website, but I actually did two, one on water leaks, showing people how much water they would, how much money they could save if they fixed their water leaks. And secondly, there was one on don't put the grease down the drain. It was the first of a series of Did You Know videos. And Sydney, if someone could tell me Sydney's last name?
Ojo Fatini.
Ojo
Ojo Fatini.
Ojo Fatini. He did one on debris, wood chipping. We were out on site and he did a wonderful job with that. So if you get an opportunity, everyone take a look at the 3 videos that we put on Elkton.org. Monday night, Chief and the captain, myself, and Detective Tour attended the Patriots Glen annual homeowners meeting, and I thought we brought a lot to the table. For that, they were very pleased to see us, and I thought it went very well. So we were representing the town there, and I think that they were very appreciative of us being there. Today, we kind of firmed up the first annual Town of Elkton Lucky Shamrock cross-country race, which will be held on St. Patrick's Day. And that's going to be highlighting all of our parkland through Meadow Park and through McKinney Park and up behind the, hopefully we can get up behind the Acme. I'm not 100% sure of that. But that's going to kick off. The registration will be at 9. The race will actually start at 10. So we're going to get those flyers out very soon for that. And then lastly, we had a presentation we'd like to give to one of our commissioners if we could tonight. And on behalf of the commissioners and the town staff, Charlie, we got a present for you.
Present for me.
We got something nice for you. We got something for you we'd like to get. So if I could get the board down here, we'd like to make this presentation to Charlie. Charlie made his homecoming. He, of course, coached at Perryville High School for many years. And the Cecil Whig did just a great job of putting Charlie on the front page. We decided to go ahead and frame it for Charlie as a long-lasting keepsake. And if you look at Charlie's mouth, he's actually, I asked him in the background, can I help you coach? And he said no again. So Charlie, we'd like to give this to you.
Go Panthers!
Used to be.
put that together for you.
Thank you.
They were on top of it.
Thank you much.
Every time I open the paper, he was in it.
It was right there.
I must be someone's friend.
There you go. Well, with that, Charlie, you're on.
I have nothing but to say tonight. Thank you very much for everything.
The only question, the lights at the roundabout on,
The contract called for 6 lights, and for some reason there's a delay because I communicate with them all the time, and they put up a portable one.
oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I went up there and checked it. It lights it up pretty good. It's aimed it on both sides, but I guess they made the contract to put that up. So that's a temporary thing. There will be 6 lights there, and ultimately when it's.
Well, I knew you had communicated with him, I just didn't know if you would have gotten any dates out of him.
No, I can't get a date out of it.
All right, thank you.
Mary Jo?
I don't have anything this evening, thank you. But you did miss your calling, because you're very good on the videos.
Yeah, he does a good job on this.
One take.
I bet.
I just had a question. How's the kiosk hookup, how's that coming? Well, I guess we should ask that question. The energy for the cars, is that going pretty good?
Oh, down in the parking lot?
Yeah, she just asked how everything was.
I will charge when you came up to look.
I was just asking everybody.
You let up and look, because they have a website you can go to.
Yeah, I know Gene said it has been used.
Well, we've got used there, not.
It's being used quite a bit. There's a car there from, I probably shouldn't say whose car it is, but there's a car there, and only for protection reasons, I won't say whose car it was. But there's a car there being charged all the time, which is great.
Yeah, and there's also someone that lives in Kensington Court, that family member comes from New York.
Oh, wow.
And they charge their car there when they get here.
Tesla?
What was that?
Oh,
I don't have anything else.
Nothing else? Okay, this is a time that we open up the floor for the public to have anything to say this evening. Come on up, Miss Sarah Guns.
Sarah Gardner, 131 Pearl Court. I just had a couple of things that I know we talked about in the past, and I missed last meeting, so maybe it's part of the ordinance that you brought in. But I have a blighted.
You gonna introduce this young lady?
I will,
Okay.
I will, I promise.
Okay.
She's gonna do some talking tonight too. She's got
Perfect.
a lot of things to tell you about. But we've got a house on our street that's been burned out for, I hesitate to say how long. I know it's been at least 5 years. Property's still sitting there empty. And we've got an entire clatter of cats living in it. It's pretty bad. And I know we had a fire in Hollingsworth Manor last night. I just don't want to see another blighted property in our neighborhood. Is there something we can do? Something I can do? Tell me what I can do to move this forward, because
I think that, my understanding is this the one where there's a title issue, not a title issue, but no one's claimed the title?
Yeah, there are a number of issues with it. Also, if I understand correctly, others have told me that there are some structural issues on one property.
well, I can see through the roof, so it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I watched the firemen cut a huge hole in the roof when they vented the property.
This was last evening, or?
No, the one that's on my street on Felcourt.
Okay.
It's been that way at least 5 years.
Well,
But I don't know about last night's property, but, I mean, it happened to the one on my street. There's 2 or 3 other that's in Hollingsworth Manor that are boarded up. It's just,
well, you raise a good question. Luke, can you give us a report on all the blighted properties that we've talked about and get it to us maybe by the workshop, and at least we'll have some answers. I know that John's been working on several of them with us. There's not a day that doesn't go by that we don't talk, having coffee in the morning, and it's amazing the legal challenges you have to try to get it, because I've committed that the town would take those properties and let's demolish them, We'll sell the lot, whatever we have to do, but we're all in to clean those properties up.
Well, and I've seen the landlords on my road, because this 6 months ago, I had more empty houses than lived-in houses on my street. And as a homeowner, property owner, that scares me, because,
Yep.
but now there's a lot of tenants in, and that brings me to my next point, is I know at one meeting that you were talking with landlords and asking them for out-of-state tags. I know of 3 new families on my street, and it's brought in, I would say, a dozen cars. The speed on my street is scary. I've got a 4-year-old. I can't even let them go out front because they're traveling so fast down into the cul-de-sac. And it's a lot of cars. There's a lot of kids. I just, I know that it's public parking, that they don't belong to a particular property, but I see more out-of-state tags than Maryland tags.
I'll address that at the next landlord's meeting.
Thank you. And that brings me to Miss Rebecca. Rebecca is my niece. She is a cadet Girl Scout, and she's got some fun things that are coming up that she'd like to tell you about.
Rebecca, lay it on us. Tell us what you got.
Cookie season has started.
Try again.
There you go.
Okay. Cookie season has started. Opening day for booth sales is Friday, this Friday. I will be at Denny's in Northeast from 4 to 8. And at Renner's, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 3. And
But there's also girls at every gas station, grocery store, and Walmart, so please support the Girl Scouts.
Very good.
Okay, what's next?
February 19th,
18.
February 18th, there is an antique road show, 12 to 4. I will be there set up with cookies, and my brother's Boy Scouts will be set up doing concession stands. And we are working with the American Legions for a wine and cookie pairing on the first of Friday in March. Booths, I will be set up with a booth on Main Street and the Taste of
We'd like to tell you about Taste of Home. Operation Taste of Home.
Operation Taste of Home. That's where if you would like to purchase cookies, you could purchase them and send them to soldiers overseas.
Nice.
You can do that with any troop at any time. It's a national campaign, so we send cookies overseas. So if you don't want the cookies yourself, but want to support the Girl Scouts, we will send them overseas too.
What day is that?
It's any time you see a girl selling Girl Scout cookies or any girl that you know that's selling cookies, you can purchase cookies to send them to the soldiers.
Okay, but is she doing it?
Yes, ma'am, she's doing it. I got cookies in the
What?
truck.
What day are you doing that?
Well, you can do that
All the time?
you can do that at any booth that we have.
Like at the Antique Roadshow, you
Yeah,
can
you
do
can
it
do
there?
it there.
Okay.
You could do it at Denny's, you could do it at Brenner's, you could do it at Walmart, anywhere that you see a Girl Scout. Even if you see them walking around your neighborhood, you could also say, hey, I would like to do the Taste of Home. And you can pay for like 1 box, 2 boxes, as many boxes as you would like. And all those boxes would go to the soldiers overseas.
The Antiques Roadshow is something that the Alliance is doing, so I know Mary Jo didn't tote that, but she did invite us to set up and do a concession and sell cookies, so everybody come out to the roadshow on the 18th.
And we're
12 to
really
4.
happy you're doing that for us.
We're excited about it. And that's all we have.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Can
you.
I add one thing before you guys?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, the mayor has kind of tasked me with following up on the legal aspects of some of these blighted properties.
Mhm.
Been working on one in particular, thought I had it resolved last year. The resolution didn't work out, and I'm back working that project. A different project here in the community. I think we've had a big breakthrough this week on an important property in town. So hopefully that will be getting resolved shortly, and it's a visible project. If you want to get in touch with me later, and you want to tell me some of these addresses of some properties that you want to put in the list, I'd be happy to do that, because that's something we want to do. He's tasked me with trying to clean up. I mean, the legal challenges are big.
Oh, I have no doubt that they're big, and I don't like to complain. I mean, I don't usually come in with complaints. I want to help my town. And I look in my neighborhood, and everything I hear about my neighborhood is horrible, and I know it's not true. But it's hard to prove to people that it's not true when there isn't a road in my neighborhood that doesn't have a blighted property. So, I mean, and I wish that was an exaggeration. I mean, I'm positive of at least 4 properties, and like I said, there was another property that burned out the wee hours of this morning. So, and I was just afraid that that one's going to go the same way that the rest of them did, because then there's no money coming in. The landlord just kind of walks away from it. And that's not to take away from that family's personal loss. You know, they lost everything. That house was a total loss. So I will be in touch, because whatever I can do to help move it along, I would love to help. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to say this evening? Mr. Ginder?
Lewis, on the adoption ordinance 1/2018 medical facilities, did you mention the planning commission met on the 8th of January? It was rescheduled to the 16th due to inclement weather. I didn't know if you need that for the record.
The planning
They
commission,
have the
we did that the
public
first.
hearing, they have it listed as the January 8th.
Yes, but what, he's correct, it was rescheduled to, on Tuesday, was it?
Yes, Tuesday the 16th,
Because
Okay,
of the.
15th.
day before the mayor and council meeting.
On 6.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. DeWitt?
Thank you very much. Will we approach?
Yeah,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
I think we've got Jess and Scott next, and then we've got the gentleman and Gusby.
Keep my mouth shut.
All right.
Don't
All
do
right.
that.
Thank you guys very much for having us come out to see you and hearing us. So, Boys and Girls Clubs, Boys and Girls Clubs of Hartford and Cecil counties, it's official. Our organizations have officially merged, and we're extremely excited about that and the opportunities this is going to open up for kids on both sides of the bridge. And I'm here tonight to introduce Ashley Choate, who is our area director. She's been with the organization for going on 8 years, and she's overseeing the operations here in Elkton, in Charlestown Elementary, in Northeast United Methodist Church, and in Northeast Middle.
Very good.
Good evening, and thank you again for hearing us. I just wanted to share an update, and like Derek said, with our merge, we've been able to double our numbers in our average daily attendance across the county in the last year. Specifically in Elkton, at our Elkton Middle School site, we have about 28 members enrolled. We're serving an average of 20 a day. We are currently seeking for a site to host our summer program. To give our kids more opportunities and to serve as many as possible. The summer program does start in June and will run through August, so it's the majority of the summer, when the kids are out of school, which is the most important time to us to keep them engaged and productive in the community. So just sharing the opportunity of the information, but also, we're seeking any assistance and support that we could get from the town of Elkton to serve as many youth as we possibly can, specifically, again, in the Elkton area.
So Ashley has been charged with seeking and finding a sustainable location for our summer program so we can serve kids in Elkton during the summer months. We're currently serving the middle school, but we need to figure out where we're going to be come summertime. So any assistance that the town can give, or they know somebody to talk to, we're pretty malleable. We can make it work just about anywhere we need to be. But right now we're just still seeking some.
It's certainly a challenge for space.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
So you're looking for one basic site, not satellite stations or anything like that? You're looking for just
Preferably one site. The more sites that we have, the greater we have to staff those sites, because we're maintaining a 1 to 15 ratio at this point. And of course, all of those staff members have to be vetted and have to be background checked, very qualified to do what we expect them to do, to be positive role models for our kids and some of them. So, we're open to all possibilities, but obviously, having the ability to house one program in Elkton at one location would be ideal.
How many people were usually involved in these summer programs?
In our Northeast program last year, we had an enrollment of, over 100? Over 100 in enrollment there. We were seeing an average daily attendance of about 60. That was just our Northeast club. And Rising Sun, we had opened up for our summer months, and those numbers were lower because it was our first year back to Rising Sun, but we were averaging about 25 kids a day there, and we anticipate about between 50 and 60 when we go back to Rising Sun middle schools.
That's a lot of children to house.
It is. It is.
See, we have a summer program, our Parks and Rec have a summer program, so they use all the facilities here for their program, including the parks and everything, so that's what I was thinking. I don't know how many people you had involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're not looking to duplicate services. Boys and Girls Clubs are just very, very good at youth development programming. We've been doing it for 150 plus years, and our programs are phenomenal. Our people are incredibly well trained, and if we have the opportunity to serve more kids in Elkton, because we know there's a ton of them. We open any and all suggestions.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir, you're next. Absolutely. I might have some of your, I probably got some of your questions you already want to ask. Please state your name again.
Ed Giblin, 214 North Street.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I'd start by saying that I think Michelle is absolutely wonderful, extremely intelligent, and she gave me a lesson in economics. She says there are unlimited wants and limited resources, and that the mayor and town council do the best they can with the resources they have. And I just wanted to say that, and I think Michelle's the best hire you ever made.
I got it.
Thank you, sir.
That comes from the heart.
Thank you.
It was just something I came across, and that's interesting. And it's just something for the mayor and town council to consider in the future.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It has to do, our police force, they keep us safe. And I just noticed that their salary apparently, according to the web, I think it came from Indeed.com, is supposedly 10% lower than the national average. And I don't know if it's been addressed in the past. But then I also noticed, I came across one thing saying that the cost of living in Elkton is 8% higher than the national average.
Wow.
That's just a statistic, probably further research can be done here. So 10% lower than the national average, 8% higher cost of living, just something to consider in the future. There's a third thing I like to talk about. My mother lived in Las Vegas for over 30 years. It was in the 1970s, I think 1980s. She told me that they had passed a law, I guess in Las Vegas or Nevada, that anyone committed a crime against a senior citizen, that the penalties were double. All right, and I do have a reference to that. the prison terms and the fines level. And I know that the mayor and town council doesn't have the authority to pass laws, but you could bring it to the attention of the state. Oh, by the way, my mother said, when they passed that law, the crime rate against seniors went way down.
That's good news.
I do have a reference to that. Okay. In Nevada, an offender who commits a crime against a person over the age of 60 is subject to a prison term twice as long as that normally allowed for the same offense.
Wow.
And I think Florida and California, they also have laws. But remember, my mother saying, they passed the law and the crime rate against senior citizens went way down.
Well, thank you.
The last thing I'd like to mention is that, have you considered how many stores?
We have. We're thinking about, well, I don't want to really get into that right now. We may be taking one away. No.
It was just
I know.
a rhetorical question.
It was, and I would like to mention one thing about our police officers. Going back and we're going to give our age here a little bit more of our age, but I remember in 1998, and I had these two members to the right of me, just like how it is right now, and we had our starting salary with our police officers was like under $17,000 at 98, and there was a group of members, officers that actually met with us, and we did our best to get that starting salary up. And today, the starting salary is at
41 and some change.
41 and some change for a starting police officer in the town of
And
Elkton.
well deserved.
So it's came a long way. So I wanted to mention to you that this is the starting salary. Now, when you get to the chief's position, it's a lot more than this. Maybe only a couple dollars more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have anything to say this evening?
I'd like to make one comment. If I
Yes.
could. Commissioner Jablonski had asked about the improvements at Maloney Road and 40, because of accidents there. And Dan and Mark are going to a meeting with the state tomorrow. They're 90% planning, design planning for improvements to the intersection of Route 40 and Maloney Road.
Oh, wow.
We discussed that meeting, so those improvements will be coming forward within the next year.
I have to say, on Friday, I was at that intersection. I was at Maloney Road, and of course, I was trying to go all the way across, which you shouldn't be doing, and it was a challenge.
Yeah.
That was some challenge. By the time all the traffic came from my left, they started coming from the right, and I can understand how these accidents are happening.
Are you playing Frogger?
You are playing Frogger there.
I go through that intersection every day.
It's a nasty intersection.
It's awful.
So I'm glad we're,
do that anymore.
and Dan, while we got you here, I think the water line has been completed to the new shops in Elkton, which is fantastic. Hopefully everyone's aware that we got a Starbucks coming. Starbucks is going into where Season's Pizza is, but Season's Pizza is also staying there, but Starbucks will be taking over the drive-through section, which is, I think people will enjoy that. With that,
I got something to say. You know, it's interesting. I was going to tell Mary Jo, took a couple basketball players home from practice about a week ago. They lived in the golf course community. And we actually rode through town, and those kids were lost. They'd been here 3 or 4 years, and I guess they'd never been downtown. So I'm assuming, you know, if you look at the parents, maybe they don't come here either. And I think that's something to think about, that you have someone living in your town, but they don't make it this direction. And I don't know what you can do to actually attract people here, because we've done so much and it's been very great, but just the boy was actually lost.
it's going to happen. They're happening. With that, does anyone else have anything to say this evening? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.